Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to start chapter number 2 of our class 11th history, that is writing and the city life. Students, in this chapter you are basically going to study about the Mesopotamian civilization. Mesopotamian civilization. Now you wonder that what is this Mesopotamian civilization? Beta, this is the world oldest, the earliest civilization. The earliest civilization of the world was the Mesopotamian civilization. Okay, students, first we start from the beginning that when the human being, in the early time, the human being was there in the earth, when they do not live a settled life, they were just keep on wandering from one place to another. The early man, you all know, during the time period of the Stone Age, they keep on wandering from one place to another. They were the food gatherer. They did the scavenging and did not live a settled life. But later on, when they started practicing the agriculture, they started living the settled life. And the place which they selected for living the settled life was the bank of the river, on the side of the river. Because water is the very important source of the life, for the life. And for practicing agriculture also, when they started practicing agriculture also, they need a water. So the place which they selected for living was the site of the river or the bank of the river. So the earlier civilization all the civilization were on the bank of any of the river. When we study the world history, we came to know that there were four earliest civilizations of the world. Four earliest civilizations of the world. Now, first civilization, the oldest civilization was this one, Mesopotamian civilization. Mesopotamian civilization. Second one was the Egyptian civilization. Third, Harappan civilization. Yeah, this Harappan civilization belonged to our Indian subcontinent. And the fourth was the Chinese civilization. Students, these four were the world earliest civilization, and among these four, Mesopotamian was the oldest civilization, regarding which we are going to study in this chapter. Now, firstly, let us study where they are located now. Which were these places? Which are these places now? Firstly, Mesopotamian civilization. It was present in present-day Iraq region. Present-day Iraq region. So the first civilization of the world was on that land. Then the Egyptian civilization, you all are aware, in present-day in the region around the present-day Italy. Harappan civilization, India and Pakistan region. And then the Chinese civilization in China. Okay, as I told you, all these civilizations were on the bank of the river. So we will study about the rivers on which these civilizations flourished. Firstly, the Mesopotamian civilization. So this civilization flourished on the bank of two rivers. Students, see the name Mesopotamia. Meso means the middle. And Potamian means, all these are the Greek word. Between the two rivers. Means river. So Mesopotamia is the Greek name which means that the land between the two rivers. What is the meaning of Mesopotamia? The land between the two rivers. And which were these two rivers? These two rivers means this region known as the Mesopotamia. Okay. And these two rivers were the river Euphrates and river Tigris. Remember, Mesopotamian civilization was flourished on between the land of two rivers, that is the river Euphrates and river Tigris. Now come to the Egyptian civilization. So important river of Egypt is Nile. So the civilization flourished on the bank of river Nile. Now come to the Harappan civilization. Another name for this civilization, you have studied regarding this in class 6, Harappan civilization. And another name for this is the Indus Valley civilization. So obviously the civilization flourished, was found, most of the site of the civilization were found on the bank of river Indus. Okay. Now the Chinese civilization flourished on the bank of river Huangpu. So you know from here that all the earliest civilization, they flourished on the bank of any of the river. So in this chapter we are going to study about the Mesopotamian civilization, which is present in today's day, which was there on present day Iraq land. And the civilization flourished on the land between two rivers, that is the river Euphrates and river Tigris. So now obviously the question comes to your mind, why the name of the chapter is not given as the Mesopotamian civilization? Why it is said to be the writing and the city life? The reason is there. The reason is that it was as I told you, that it was the oldest civilization and it was the first civilization from where the writing started. Okay. And the city life, that is the urban life, also was there in the civilization. So the origination of the writing as well as the city life started from the Mesopotamian civilization. That's why the name of the chapter is given to be as the writing and the city life. Now students, we will look after the time period of the Mesopotamian civilization. What was the time period when the civilization flourished? So the time period for this was the 4000 BC to 600 BC. Beta 100 in history is also said to be the 6th century. Okay. And 1000 is said to be the 4th millennium. It is important in history to know about these terms. 1000 is known to be the millennium and 100 is said to be the history. Okay. It's said to be the century. Now BC. The full form is the BC is the before Christ. It is also said to be the BCE. BCE means before Christ era. And CE, you also heard about the CE. CE means common era. And sometimes CE is also said to be the AD. AD means Anno Domini. But when you look at the timeline in history, it is just like the number line of the mass. Like the 0 is there, then here is the negative integers, number 2, number 3, 4. And here is the positive integer like 1, 2, 3. In a similar way, the history timeline goes. This is the plus the positive integer is the AD. It goes forward like now there is a 2021. So 2021 you can say it to be the CE or AD. And this negative integer is said to be the BC, that is before Christ era. And this division is on the basis of the Christian calendar by the birth of the Jesus Christ. So the time period before the birth of the Jesus Christ was said to be the BC, before Christ, or BCE, that is before Christ era. And the time period after the birth of the Jesus Christ was said to be the Anno Domini, AD. AD means Anno Domini means after the Jesus Christ or the common era. Why it is said to be the common era CE? Because now it is commonly followed. Okay. So when you study, see the BC goes like the negative integer backward. ये पीछे की साइड चलता है और वो आगे जाता है सीधी. ठीक है. तो इसलिए हम जा रहे हैं from 4000 BC to the 600 BC. 600 के बाद क्या आएगा? 500 Okay, then 400, it goes negative, then 3, 2, 1, and then the CE starts. So I hope you understood the historical timeline, how we calculate it. Okay, so from the next video, we start the chapter, that is the Mesopotamian civilization. Thank you all.